Take 3 and go. Disclaimer at the beginning of the video, these are just my thoughts and opinions. Don't quote me on anything, and I swear. Now, I've not done a video in a little while because I've just not felt it. I've not been, like, there's nothing that's come up that's been like, yes, I need to talk about this now. Until I woke up today and the all is like very clear in my head, like very clear message. So here I am. Now, yeah, so yesterday was my mother's birthday. She would have been 80. I worked it out. Still can't fucking remember. 86 or 87. 86. Should have been 86. She died in 2019. Flu jab. But bless her little heart. Yeah, so my mum ain't there anymore, but it was her birthday yesterday. So I put on Facebook a photograph of my mum and happy heavenly birthday. You know how us Facebook folk do. Happy heavenly birthday. We all do. We don't all do it. Some people take the piss out of us for doing it, but some of us do it. And yeah, so I wished her a happy jalapenos, because she loved a bit of spice, she didn't. And thanked her for my life and said I love and miss her dearly, which I do, bless her. You never get over losing your mum, I don't think. Anyways, yeah, so I got into conversation with my friend Claire. Hi, Claire. We were talking about, she's like, oh, I bet she's with my mum. I said, oh, I bet they're having a game of bingo. She's like, oh my God, my mum used to love bingo. It's like, back in our day, my mum used to go to the bingo and take us with them. Because back in the day, we were allowed to go to the bingo when we were children. And guess what? I didn't grow up to be a raging fucking gambler-holic or anything. Well, I suppose grew up to be many things, but it wasn't because my mother took me to the fucking bingo. I used to love it because after she'd done her cards, she used to give them to me, and I'd try and pretend to play bingo as well with cards because she'd got loads of pens. Didn't have daubers back then. Daubers weren't a thing. And yeah, so she got loads of different felt tip pens. So like I'd pick a different coloured felt tip pen. She always had a different coloured felt tip pen for each sheet. And then I'd use a different one, and I'd try and mark them off and whatever. I do love a bit of bingo, right? But I barely ever go, because I might go one day just on my own. That's comfort zone shit, that, isn't it? But yeah, so I used to go bingo, and my mum used to have ashtrays on the table, all his kids running around the aisles. It was fun. My mate Claire used to go to the bingo with her mum as well. And it's like one of the many, many things that has changed over the years. I've said on many videos before, when my mum was little, they used to have a park over the road on this little green area. They'd got a park warden. She made it sound like Alton Towers, moving parts, like something that you had to stand on that went like this, and like a wavy thing, I think. You had to walk across, and like it sounded like a funhouse type jobby. And like there was a guy paid to sit in his little shed and just make sure the kids were all right, and they all befriended him and stuff, like, because yeah, and he weren't a pedo. It's like, yes, what you ask of everybody nowadays. Like you ask if women have got a penis these days, because the world's gone fucking nuts due to them bastards fashioning it that way. This is the way it's only we're taught in school. This is the way it can only ever be run, because this is the only way they've ever fucking run it. At the beginning, they let us have a few shiny things. Now they're just eroding our rights and just placing more control on us, because they know that we're slowly waking up, and they're fucked. Well, they're fucked anyway, but in my personal opinion. And theirs. But, like the more that we wake up, the more they have to tighten the noose. The more they have to put the boot on the neck, because you know, they have to spend money on water cannons and this, that and the other because they're needing to control us sometime soon because we're approaching critical mass and exponentially. Big words. Anyways, but we are. It's like it's getting faster. Then we're growing up, waking up in ever greater numbers by the day. When I first started doing this 15, 16 years ago, there wasn't such a thing as a truth movement. There were people who got together and spoke in hushed corners, but it wasn't this big thing. It just wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, now it is, and we're getting stronger. And so they're exercising more control. Anyways, so the point of this whole video was when I woke up this morning, I had this message. Now, in the past 3 years, don't know whether you know, 3 years ago, we went through a period of utter bollocks, which is now being proven to have been utter bollocks. The measures, I fucking hated the word measures. I don't try not to use the word hate wherever possible, but I despised, it's still a negative word, but the word measures got right on my tits every time I heard it. It was one of those things, because that's how come we're all so docile. People only believe what they hear repeated. That's how we learn in school. That's how we learn as adults. And the people who repeat it are on TV and in the news and, you know, pamphlets that come through your door. People are bred from the age of 4, younger now, when we start school, that we have to listen to that repetition and we have to remember it, because if we don't repeat it back parrot fashion, we fail our exams. And then everybody's going to point and laugh at the fool. You can't get a job, you can't do this, you can't survive unless you believe verbatim exactly what they keep repeating to you. And this has got to stop, because our grandparents, our parents didn't know this was happening. We do. We have the chance to put a stop to this, right? So yeah, it's been proven that these measures have harmed people, and that the ultimate measure is resulting in 2,000 excess deaths every single week, and we are doing nothing about it. Because we're not being told to do anything about it on repeat by the telly, by the government. The government, for whom nothing is off the table for the poison dwarf in his war machine, or fucking Chuck's fucking stick a hat on a turd parade. No, loads of fucking money for that. But when it's the nurses getting a living fucking wage, it's like, no, I'm sorry, we have to think about the rest of the public purse. Grunt chaps. Assless chaps, I'm calling him now. Spineless chaps, probably. But yeah, so we basically, for the last 3 years, have lived through crap. That's on top of what we've lived through before. It's only ever getting worse. My children won't know anything pre 9/11. Do you know what I mean? Their world will always just be controlled. Because I did nothing. I tried. I'm planting seeds. That's not enough. But we need to start waking up en masse and coming together and just talking about how to take it away from them and give it back to us. How to make the world run. That is the thing that will change this world. When we stop listening to them bastards and start talking and listening to each other. Stop. Cut off the fucking darkness. Breathe the light. Switch your light switch on. Start thinking of other people first, not yourself. That kind of thing, right? Which is difficult, because that's all we've ever known. That's what we're taught to do. Anyways, to the point, because like literally this is 10 minutes fucking long and I'm boring myself, to be fair, because I've been pissing in the wind, shouting up a windy tunnel for the last 15 years, and maybe one day people will start to listen to me. Who knows? But I'm going to keep going. I just needed this out there. So for the last 3 years, we've had, well, at the beginning especially, when we were apparently in a pandemic, when people were dropping like flies, right? We were told, we were posters of little old ladies everywhere, little old men. Look them in the eyes and say you wouldn't wear a mask. Didn't wear a mask, didn't take a test, unvaccinated, all 3. Haven't played along at all, haven't killed anybody, not dead myself, hashtag just say it. But when I woke up this morning, after nightmares, for like second lot of nightmares in about a week, I barely ever have nightmares, so you know that something's going on. I'm not sleeping very well either, so whether somebody's got me on a list, because this is how they work, like behind closed doors, this is how they function. I don't know, but I'm going to keep going anyway. So woke up this morning, clear as bell, in my head, vis-a-vis your children, the children, our children, look them in the eyes and tell them they don't have a future because you couldn't be arsed to even fucking listen.